Hi, I'm here to show you how to balance the Axler Robin 20 stabilizer. Put your DSLR camera on this stabilizer to get super smooth handheld shots. Learning to balance and operate a stabilizer is like learning how to ride a unicycle. It takes skill, persistence, and of course, balance. You will likely fail at first, take some metaphorical falls, but be prepared to get back up and dust yourself off. Here's the camera I'm using. It's a Sony a7 II. Nice little camera. You're going to want to make sure that you've got all of your accessories, your bracket, your battery, your memory card, anything else you're going to be using attached to your camera before you balance the Robin. Just make sure that it's under 7 pounds. 7 pounds is the Robin 20's maximum payload. This way, you're balancing for your intended outcome, which is shoot day. General principles in terms of balancing, twofold. One, we'll make large adjustments first to get the camera centered and in place. Two, then we'll hone in the balance and fine-tune using smaller adjustments. With the stabilizer, small adjustments have large effects, so we'll cycle through all of the adjustments to achieve balance using the smallest tweaks possible. Remember, every change in the camera, accessories, monitor, and stabilizer will likely throw the rig out of balance. So, for example, let's say you're using a compact flash card and you switch to an SD memory card, that's going to throw things out of whack. I've got my SD card here. We're good. I know I'm going to use that for shooting. Also, I have my battery. Avoid a zoom lens where the front element moves, thus throwing the camera out of balance. Unless you're going to be locked in one focal length the whole shoot, that's just going to be a problem on set. The stabilizer comes with a handy carrying case. Follow along using your quick start guide. Do not throw it out. It is a good guideline for balancing and rebalancing your rig. Step 1. Erect a balancing stand to mount the stabilizer on when you balance it. It could be a C-stand or a light stand. Use sandbags to keep it from tipping over. Screw the sled or plate onto the camera so it is ready to be mounted onto the Robin. Step 2. Mount the Robin on the stand. Put the empty Robin on the docking bracket and make sure the stabilizer sits well on the docking bracket. Using a balancing stand will save you from exhausting your arms by constantly holding the stabilizer. Make sure you can swing the Robin freely. There should be no knobs, latches, or handles sticking out from the stand to obstruct it from swinging. Pretty good. And as a rule of thumb, if your camera weighs more than 3.5 pounds, use all 4 counterweights on the Robin. If it weighs less than 3.5 pounds, only use 2 weights. Screw the appropriate weights onto the base of the Robin. Step 3. Now it's time to mount the camera on the Robin and center it by eyeballing its position. Tighten the ratchet knob so it's gripping the camera when you mount it. Then mount the camera on the stabilizer by sliding the sled into position. Use the quick release locking knob to lock the camera in place. Step 4. Once you get the camera positioned on the stabilizer, it's time to find the center of gravity. Do this by lifting the rig off the stand and balancing the column horizontally on the crux of your hand, between your thumb and forefinger. We're going to slide the gimbal just below the center of gravity, and next we'll make this rig slightly bottom heavy to compensate for this. Bring it down here. Step 5. Put the Robin back on the stand and check the balance. Looks pretty good. Make it a little bit bottom heavy by extending the center column or slide the gimbal up toward the camera. A third way to make it more bottom heavy is to add counterweights. However, if you've already selected them based on the size of your camera, which ours is under 3.5 pounds, it's unlikely you'll have to adjust them. Step 6. Check the balance again. As a general principle, if it looks good and balanced, don't futz with it. But assuming it's not steady, it's time to fine-tune. We've adjusted the camera up and down in relation to the gimbal. Now we'll adjust the remaining 2 axes, the fore and aft and the left to right. If it's leaning to the right, move the camera a touch to the left. If it's tilting forward, slide it a bit back. Adjust to counteract the off-balance movement. Step 7. Make the next logical adjustment and check your balance. Now is a good time to use your bubble level. Cycle through adjusting the unit using the techniques we've just presented until it's balanced on all 3 axes. Once it appears to be stable, upright, and perpendicular to the horizon line, it's time to conduct the drop test. Lift the weighted end of the stabilizer to its horizontal position, then let go. It should take 2 to 3 seconds for the unit to drop to a vertical position. Going to the horizontal position. Whoa, that was quick. So, too quick. Retract the center column. One thousand. Okay, that was still fast. Step 8. Calibrate based on the drop test. If the stabilizer drops too quickly, move the gimbal away from the camera or retract the center column. If the stabilizer drops too slowly, move the gimbal toward the camera or extend the center column. Let's do another drop test. 1,000.
I'm sorry.
Did I not say you will fail over and over? You will fall metaphorically. I need to keep bringing the camera down a little bit because it's top heavy. 1,000, 1,000. Look at that. Really oddly, it's not rotating now. This video's done. Let's get out of here. If I were you, I wouldn't touch this thing again. All right, this guy's pretty darn balanced. Let's see what happens if I take it off the balancing stand. Oh, it's listing a little. Step 9. Continue to tweak the unit until it drops 90 degrees in 2 to 3 seconds without spinning out of control. You may notice that the camera spins or rotates off axis. This means the fore-aft or left-right balance is slightly off. Tweak as before until you get it balanced. I can see that the camera is tilting forward just a little bit, so I'm going to slide it back just a tiny bit. Now it's tilting backwards. So micro adjustments, that is the name of the game here. Now it's starting to lean the other direction. That means I'm at like the crux of it, right? So we'll go back just a bit to the, okay. There we go. According to the bubble levels, I'm within the center field. 1,000, 1,000. Up and back down. So we passed the drop test. Our unit is balanced, as you can see. If it swings out of alignment, return it to the balancing stand again and readjust it. Not bad. Step 10. Wrapping up. You will likely take hours to fine-tune this, and even then, you'll want to set aside the whole day to really get it right. Set a second day for a test shoot and practicing rebalancing. Give yourself a third day to apply anything new you learned. Remember, this is learning a new skill, not just quickly dialing in some settings. Step 11. Final step. So there you go. You have balanced your rig. Well done. Take a photo of it. Measure the settings. Make note of how you set it up. The better you understand how you achieved balance with your particular rig, the better your chances in rebalancing for the next shoot. Now let's take a look at some of the cool shots you can get using a Robin 20S.